A week has passed since the incident regarding a passenger being dragged off an American Airlines flight. I am pleased to announce that there has already been progress made to prevent incidents like this from happening again, as well as in aiding the passengers affected with any cost due to the fault of our company. As mentioned, there was a crisis where a passenger was wrongly and inappropriately removed from a flight. Due to this, many of our customers fear for their health, safety, and well-being. Myself, being the owner of this company, have issued an apology to the individuals involved. Now, after having the correct sources and evidence, I want to offer an even more sincere apology and proposition. I understand that my previous apology was a lack of concern and care. I did not realize the extent of how important and troubling this event was to our customers all around the world. I now know that everything that occurred was due to the fault of our company. We accept this blame and, as mentioned before, are already working towards new policies that prevent an incident like this from ever happening again. On April 9th, 2017, there was an incident that occurred on a plane that was preparing to depart from the O'Hare International Airport in Chicago. Before the plane departed, the attendants explained that 4 passengers needed to be removed to make room for staff who were needed at another location. After $800 worth of compensation to persuade passengers to give their seat, there were no volunteers. Since there were no volunteers, the staff were forced to pick passengers at random to remove from the plane. One of the passengers picked was a doctor and explained that he needed to be at work the next day. The employees did not take this note into concern and continued to try and remove this passenger from the plane. The passenger did not get out of his seat and was forcibly removed by airport security, resulting in the passenger hitting his head and being dragged out of the plane while bleeding. Footage of this incident has caused great outrage and concern from our customers all around the world. Due to this situation, I want to apologize to all those affected, specifically to those who endured harm and humiliation due to the inappropriate action of our staff. I want to start off by sending my deepest apologies to individuals who were harmed and treated unfairly in this incident. It is very unfortunate that this happened at a company where treating our customers with respect is a priority. I can tell you that I take full responsibility for this, and I promise that this will never happen again. I also apologize to all our customers and express that your needs and comfort are our top priority. Although this is very unfortunate that our company had something like this occur, we accept full responsibility for what happened and how it was handled. We take full responsibility for everything that happened, and we should have had the appropriate policies to prevent this from ever happening in the first place. We need to have policies put in place regarding how staff should check in to board flights. If the staff does not check in to a flight before other passengers, then that staff member will face the consequences of being on that flight. Staff members need to be prepared for an overbooking of a flight, so they need to be at least an hour early to check in for their flights. There also needs to be a policy change on how much we can compensate to persuade a person to give up their seat if necessary. We need to be able to offer more compensation that will make passengers want to give up their seats if the flight is actually overbooked. This will prevent the airline of having to choose random passengers to remove in the case of an overbooked flight. And the steps to choose those random people also need to be cleared up. Because before, the airline would select individuals who may use that company the most or who may have paid the most money. But none of that should matter. If a customer has a seat, that is their seat, and they should not be removed from that. There also needs to be a policy put in place to protect the passenger who is already seated from being removed from that seat, which they have every right to. A passenger who has paid for and is sitting in the actual seat should not be removed just to put another passenger in that same seat, no matter who that other passenger may be. Again, we take full blame for what happened aboard that flight that day and assure you that it will never happen again. As a company, we will take the previous policy suggestions and create new policies and enforce them immediately. These new and improved policies will ensure that an incident like this will never occur again. I can promise that these new policies will keep our customers safe and comfortable while they are in our care. So today I've talked about a crisis that occurred at American Airlines and how important it is to us that a crisis like this never happens again. We as a company take full responsibility for what happened. I want to close by saying that again, I offer my deepest apology to those who were affected on behalf of myself and this company, and I assure you that something like this will never happen again. Thank you.